So what's going on, everybody? It's J.A. Salute to you for tuning in. Now today we're discussing the controversy surrounding the upcoming Jordan 1 Black Toe Reimagined, which it's already been reported that pair has now been pushed back to 2025, but with tens of thousands of pairs of these already available early illegally through the black market, we're already seeing prices going for under retail ahead of the official launch date. Now on top of that, resellers, they're sitting on these, they're stuck, they can't move these in bulk, as Nike is actually working with the feds to crack down on early releases. So with all of that being said, we're going to look at it from all points of views, from the reseller perspective, the buyer's point of view, as well as Nike's perspective as they look to preserve the legacy of some of their classic retro releases. So stay tuned, it's going to be a good one. But to begin, let's go ahead and start with some quick updates. So first up, we have the deal of the day, which happens to come from Snipes, who has currently a pair of Jordan 1s on sale for 50% off, bringing them down to just $90. So we have the Jordan 1 Yellow Ochre. I want to say this pair was the first Jordan 1 release to kick off 2024. And I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, these joints right here are a disgusting, nasty shade of yellow right here, but I would say coming in at $90, 50% off the $180 price point, definitely makes this release a lot more appealing. You could even go as far as to call these like a poor man's version of the Wu-Tang Dunks, which people are paying currently like 5 times markup on top of the retail price. So why pay resale for those when you can grab a pair of these right here from an official retailer such as Snipes? And speaking of those Wu-Tang Dunks, it looks like we do have an official release date, which we did previously get a little shock drop for these like about a month ago. They also did do this little early access for like Spotify users, like diehard Wu-Tang fans, but the official release date will be coming up here on November 9th, which these joints are going to be dropping worldwide via the Sneakers app. So currently, I mentioned earlier, people are paying crazy resale markups on these, like 5 times the retail price point. So my recommendation is to hold out, do not pay that crazy resale ticket. Maybe wait and see if you could possibly hit these joints for retail, or wait till more pairs hit the streets. Now we also got a release date for the upcoming Amamanier Air Max 95s, which are part of the bigger While You Were Sleeping collection, which upon the first initial teaser for that collection, many people were saying that these 95s were a standout release from that pack. But then after a little early on feet look, it seems like a lot of people's opinions kind of changed. Some people were kind of turned off by the choice of material on this pair, but regardless, this is a release that's going to be on many people's radar, which it looks like the official release date will be coming up here October 25th, and they're asking $190 for these. Now, as far as this drop, this will officially be the Amamanier release, which a lot of people were kind of burned from the last drops officially through Amamanier, as they're notoriously known for like having delayed shipping. So I think some people may actually be passing on this drop just based off previous releases and holding out for a bigger Sneakers app release, which hasn't been officially announced just yet, but based off previous drops from this collection, one can anticipate we'll probably see that initial drop via Amamanier and then see a wider Sneakers app release at a later date. Now, we got a big update here from StockX, as apparently they're making some changes to their policy. So about a month ago or so, we did learn that StockX is now implementing the no fee resale, where if you purchase anything from StockX, you have up to 90 days. If you're not satisfied with this purchase, you can actually resell it, which they'll actually waive all the resale fees associated with that, which is kind of a gamble, because at one, a price can go down as far as the resale value for your item, or at the same time, the price could go up, kind of leaving things as like a gamble actually for resellers. But I think it's great for us as a customer, because it kind of gives you more options, as far as returning your product. But as far as the big update here with this latest StockX policy, they are now offering returns, which it says for eligible items under our return policy, you can now return your items to StockX within 14 days of delivery for a full refund in the form of the original StockX credit. Now that does actually subtract the original shipping cost, but I feel like this is great for us here as consumers. I really have nothing bad to say about this, because anything you buy from StockX, let's say you try them on, they don't fit, or if you're just not happy, like you're not happy with the quality, maybe they gave you a pair that, has like some quality control issues, or maybe you may even think them joints are fake or something like that. And if you're not satisfied, you can now return them to StockX within 2 weeks. But I would just say, before you guys just jump on StockX, buying up everything, knowing that you can return it, just be careful, because as I was looking at it, I don't see if they have actually implemented the policy officially just yet. So it could only only be available for select items. Who knows if it's going to be available for early pairs. So I would say, guys, just hold out on this one. But as far as StockX, it seems like they are making the right moves to win us back here as customers, even though they are still notoriously known for selling fakes and everything like that. But I think they are making some positive moves, moving things into the right direction. Now, before we jump into our big story, just one last update, as it looks like it's been revealed that Martine Rose and Nike are cooking up another collaboration, which apparently will be dropping coming up here in 2025. So we learned this information from Brandon Dunn from over there at Complex. If you guys are unfamiliar with the British Jamaican designer Martine Rose, one of the hottest designers currently, anything that she puts her hands on, pretty much the whole fashion world will take note. Which previously she teamed up with Nike on a pair of Shocks, which weren't really like big, I would say, here in the sneaker world, like the hype world. But as far as in the fashion world, that was a pair that took the fashion scene by storm. So I would say as far as this pair is going to be interesting. Apparently she will be using the Nike Air Max Craze, which was a previously vaulted silhouette. So as you guys see right here, these joints got a crazy vibe, and I'm sure Martine Rose, she's going to throw her flair all over these right here. So this should be an interesting one to look forward to, as these are apparently not dropping until fall of 2025. And with those quick updates out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into our main story, which we're discussing the controversy surrounding the upcoming Jordan 1 Black Toe Reimagined. Now, as far as this pair right here, I would say these have been controversial from the start. When we saw the initial first images, sneakerheads seem like we're kind of divided upon the interesting, unique design choice. So as far as the reimagined flair for this Jordan Brand Classic, what they decided to do was add that Air Jordan font to these, paying homage to the original Jordan 1 photo shoot. Some people loved it, other people hated it. Now, as far as this pair, these were originally scheduled to drop coming up this Friday, the 18th. But of course, we learned that Nike has asked most retailers to push these back. Of course, I do believe that some like smaller boutiques are still going to be dropping these on Friday. But for the most part, they blamed it on like shipping issues. A lot of sneakerheads theorized that Nike's going with this kind of staggered release to try to build up the hype for these joints and then drop them later on coming up here next year. But as far as this pair right here, the interesting fact is that thousands of pairs have already hit the market like about a month in advance, and these joints are already going for under retail ahead of the official release day, which of course Nike, they're not liking stuff like this, because if their sneakers are already selling for under retail, what's going to entice buyers to want to actually pay full retail for these when they officially drop? I mean, I wouldn't want to. So as far as what we see right here, as I mentioned, like tens of thousands of pairs of these have already hit the streets early. And if you're wondering how these pairs hit the streets early, essentially most of the early pairs that hit the market, I would say probably, come from the backdoor process, where retailers, they get these pairs early, they get the shipments in early. What they're doing is they're selling these pairs in bulk to resellers, which the price that they're selling them at is going to be like above their wholesale price that they acquire them for, but like right under the market value. That way the reseller can of course maintain their profit margins. Now, resellers bought these joints up early, and as far as this release right here, unfortunately they cannot move these units because one, they're already going for under retail, plus two, Nike is working with the feds to crack down on these early black market retail drops right here. So as far as examples of this, we've already seen how Nike has cracked down as they caught some employees internally redirecting bulk shipments to their own addresses. I've reported on multiple sneaker resale shops being shut down across the country due to federal agents like seizing all of their inventory. For example, the last one I spoke on was Fleet Club, based out of Chicago. I want to say they had like those wet cement Paris Olympic Jordan 4s, or it might have even been the White Thunder 4s. I can't remember exactly what pair, but I think they might have had like just like a full size run of those early, and the Fed seized all of their inventory, like just freezing up hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of inventory, and no charges have even been filed against them just yet. So they're just sitting on everything. So it looks like Nike is clearly working with the feds right now, trying to shut down all of these early pairs hitting the black market. And as far as like how it affects everybody on a bigger scale, let's go ahead and look at it from everybody's perspective. And on top of that, you can't even sell these black toes on StockX, because if you actually try to sell them, they're actually banned from being sold. With StockX, they're already fed because they report all of your sales to the IRS anyways. But as far as how this affects everybody from the different perspectives, for resellers, they're stuck sitting on these, they can't move them in bulk. And as far as like trying to sell them, they could try to move them in like small quantities, like let's say via eBay, through GOAT, or through like local sales, but they can't move these joints in bulk because the feds are watching. Now, as far as Nike's point of view, of course, you know, they're looking to preserve the legacy of their releases. Why would they want their pairs to be selling for under retail like a month of the release date? That's not going to entice buyers to want to grab these. And then from the buyer point of view, for us, I mean, I feel like right now we're taking full advantage of these. Right now we're able to get sneakers for under retail. We're able to get crazy deals as most releases are just sitting. But I would say come next year, things aren't going to be looking as sweet. As my theory is that with Nike trying to preserve the legacy for these classic retros, what they're going to do is make these pairs a lot tougher to get. So I feel like as far as from the buyer's point of view, for us, things aren't going to be this sweet come next year. So let me know what you guys think about the controversy surrounding this release. Right now, resellers are just sitting on these joints because they can't move them, and buyers, we're just waiting for these joints to drop officially, as Nike has delayed this pair till 2025. So this is an interesting one. Let me know what you guys think about this pair. Was this one that's been on your radar? Have you already gotten a pair early, or are you holding out, you know, trying to get these joints for a crazy steal price? Now, as I'm sitting back here getting ready to wrap up everything, apparently we have a breaking update of the next potential new Yeezy merch. So it looks like this one comes from Matthew Williams, which according to Reddit, this is not to be confused with Alix 1017 Matthew, but as far as this guy, he's been working with Ye, I guess since like 2022, and apparently was spotted with Ty Dolla $ign in Tokyo yesterday. Now, what he posted to his IG stories here is this simple merch, which apparently could be new merch. As we know, Ye is rocking with the concept album Bully right now, apparently, you know, in the recording process and everything such as. So as far as the graphic, what you got right here, this is essentially a direct reference to a Japanese poster advertising the original film, which happened to drop back in the 90s. So if you guys have never seen that movie, it's a crazy one. I remember watching back in the day. So as far as the concept album, this should be a big one, as apparently it's going to be Ye's next solo album. Now, as far as the merch here, nothing crazy. I would say simple, but yet effective. And nothing is officially confirmed yet, but just wanted to mention with you guys, as this one just happened to pop up on my timeline. I thought it would be something interesting to discuss, and hopefully we'll have an update, you know, with this story for tomorrow's news update. So that's all I got for you guys today. Go ahead and drop your feedback down below. If y'all made it all the way through the end, I appreciate y'all. Make sure you let me know by hitting a salute in the comments. Plus, if y'all enjoyed the video, make sure you guys drop a like down below. So that's it, y'all. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. In the meantime, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm JA, and I'm out, y'all.